Rush is driven by Wrath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and online at wrathauto.com. You're rolling with Wrath on the Morning Rush.
All the happiest drivers are rolling with Wrath.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to the final round of this tradition unlike any other.
People ask if you could only play one golf course for the rest of your life, what would it be? And I think walking around this place every day would be pretty cool. I don't think there's a more beautiful golf course on earth. You're playing golf in the prettiest park in the world, basically.
Could be the biggest moment of his career.
Even from watching on TV, nothing prepares you for the greens.
Need to see him to believe him. TV definitely doesn't do it justice. Once you're on property, it's sort of a holy smokes moment. It's one of the few courses that you've been playing that course in your head since you're 5 years old, and you've seen all the shots.
The return to glory.
I don't know any other way to describe it other than an incredibly special, unique place that we all feel there's this different energy that's here.
Maybe. Yes, sir!
Tomorrow, it starts. It is Wednesday at the Masters.
This is the Morning Rush.
I guess if we get going here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday, is of the three of us on the show right now, Colton, Tommy's the only one to actually experience Augusta National. Tommy, are you still in Vegas? You in Phoenix? Where are we at this morning?
I'm in Vegas this morning. We'll be in Phoenix by this afternoon, and wish I was in Augusta.
An opportunity. Listen to this. Tommy sacrificed an opportunity to go to Augusta National for the betterment of ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. The things that he does on a daily basis for this company.
I did have an invite to go this year. Yeah. I got a rain check. Hopefully, what is next year's?
Did you hear about the kid that someone made a fake Facebook account and sold his tickets or something? There's a social media thing, and he tried to get back in because for those that don't know, you can't sell Masters tickets for through different parties. Like it's just through, I guess, what Masters.com or Augusta, however they go about it.
It happens every day, though.
Yeah, so. Behind the scenes and not online. That being said, this kid had won the Masters lottery back in 2024 and was so excited to take his wife in 2025. Evidently, his Facebook had been hacked and his tickets were removed by Augusta National. So he's been fined to get back. I don't know if he's going to, but par 3 contest today. The unique thing, Tommy, with our show now being 9 to 11, it's been 6 to 9 for 18 years, is we get to talk more. There's going to be more action during our show, which is kind of cool.
That I hadn't even thought about that, but you're exactly right. Hey, that's where we begin. It is a What's Your Beef Wednesday here on the Morning Rush, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. I think a shrimp boil this weekend would be awesome. Be a great way to celebrate the weekend and get yourself ready to go. At Richard's, they can do everything you need to get it ready. Those big tender shrimp. They can also take care of everything you need in regards to the potatoes and the corn and the spices, because the spices are the real thing when it comes to Richard's. 479-443-0000 or stop in and see him in Fayetteville at Richard's Country Meat Market.
Darren texting us from Alma this morning, home of the Airedales, saying, I went to the Masters last year on Thursday and Friday. It was an incredible experience. Tommy, you've been, my old roommate's been. Are you wearing, I've got a green polo on this morning. Are you wearing, I haven't looked at our video stream. Are you wearing anything Augusta related? Wow.
No, I've got an Augusta shirt. This is a 2025 U.S. Open shirt. It's going to be at Oakmont. Bought that at Golf USA in Fayetteville from Chris over there. I think Chris is down at the Masters, but no, I've got an Oakmont shirt on. That is coming up here in a couple months. So,
well, there you go. All right, so beef's here this morning. Again, brought to you by Richard Country Meat Market. When we get going on these, if you want to call or text us here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, do so 877-377-6963. Tommy, since you were kind of teasing yesterday and Monday that you were going to have some beefs today, I'll let you hit this one first.
Well, I think I've been complaining. I've been told I've been bit C all week? I'm trying. You had a more appropriate way of saying it yesterday about Vegas and this place, but I can't tell you how. I'm looking at boarding time today. As soon as this show's over, I'm getting the heck out of this place. So and it doesn't have anything to do with gambling losses. Just I am so over Vegas after 5 days in Vegas. I've been here since Friday. It is way too much. Had a good time, learned a lot, but just the town is
it's taking a toll on you. It's taking a toll on you.
I mean, I tell you what my sleep, after spring break and the trip, came back, about got regulated, back out here. Now I'm back off kilter. Listen, these are first world problems, but that is my beef to start today. I'll have a few more about the NCAA tournament, and then someone pointed out to me on that final play. I want to go back to that final play with you a little bit later on. We'll talk about that. We'll get into that later. We need a little more time to unwind that. So I want to talk about that final play again in the national championship game Monday night.
Colton, what about you? What's your beef today?
I'm choosing peace this morning. I don't really have any beef, so I'm still really upset that I've been putting together all this work into, making sure that the Masters week, all of our stuff sounds good and nostalgic, the way that the Masters would want it, and then they go and they ruin the Georgia on my mind. I'm still pretty pressed about that, Ty.
Yeah, did you, Tommy, when you were gone, we played, I don't know if we have it, and honestly, I'm glad we don't have it here on our RB bar to play it because they ruined
I deleted it, Ty.
They ruined the theme that you hear on
Who is they?
I don't know if it's an ESPN decision, a Masters decision, whatever the case may be, but the longtime theme, but with Ray Charles and the guy that they added in, what is he, an Emmy Award winner or whatever he is, but it's not good. It's not good at all.
They tried to modernize it.
They modernized it, and it's not near as good as they often do with anything in today's day and age in 2025. When you try and modernize something that was so great, and it's been great for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, it is not good all these years later. I would say my beef here this morning is
maybe they should get Huey Lewis in the news to do it. Maybe that's
another beef that I continue to fail when it comes.
That will be one of my beefs later in the show.
Is the lack of pop culture knowledge when it comes to just me and everything else. I think one of my beefs is talking about Augusta this morning, and I see the pristine greens and fairways and everything else. It's like this. I don't know if it's a burning desire, but it's like my lawn will never look that good. It's almost, and I don't take a lot of pride in my lawn just because the only reason I mow it and cut it and blow it is to make sure that I don't get a letter from the city. But then I look and I see how just miraculous it's unbelievable.
Miraculous.
How unbelievable. What word am I looking for?
Pristine's a good word. Immaculate. I think it's a good word.
Immaculate's probably the word I'm looking for. Yeah. But how wonderful it looks. And I'm like,
perfection.
My lawn will never, ever look that good. How much time, how much energy I exert out there, front, back, side, you name it, I do it. It's never going to look that good. So I guess it's.
Do you talk to your grass?
Do I talk to my like Les Miles used to do?
Well, he ate the grass, but I think if you talk to your grass, it would turn it greener. I think you'd have that color you're looking for.
Who was the one that talked to God? Les used to eat smoothies and stuff.
I don't think it would work for just anybody, but I do think it'd work for you.
Okay. Let's see. John from Mountain Home, his beef this morning is the transfer portal. What are we doing?
I'm going to go back to you talking to the grass. Have you tried that with your lawn?
I can't say I have. I guess I need
to. Because I think the problem is it's under fertilized. So the more you would talk to it, I think the more fertilization the lawn would get, and therefore bring the colors a little closer to what you're looking for. So I think you talking to your yard would probably be the first course of action.
I'll tell you what, I will give it the old college try at some point.
I think that would
be
better than nitrogen and better than anything you could put on your lawn for fertilization would just be the things that come out of your mouth.
Okay, John.
And eventually you'll get the joke. So
yeah, I'm going to be honest. I'm not picking it up right now. Everyone else is laughing at my lack of intelligence, and when I hear Cold laughing and me not getting that again, I know I'm in trouble. John from Mountain Homes beef, and I was already moving
you're
on.
Full of it, Tommy.
Okay, well that makes sense. Yeah. John from Mountain Homes beef this morning. It's the transfer portal. What are we doing? We haven't picked up anyone else yet. If you haven't heard the news, Adu Thero announced publicly yesterday that he was entering the NBA draft. Didn't see anything about the possibility of him coming back. That doesn't mean that that's not still out there. But a lot of times when you see a guy put out a statement or his agent put out a statement or someone puts out the statement about them, there's that additional like line that says while maintaining college eligibility. So you can read into what you want to. Don't know about that. But I think, and I don't know if restless is the right way to put it, but I think Arkansas fans are starting to wonder, it's like, what's happening? Now, I'll take you back to a year ago today when he didn't have a roster outside of when Trevin Brazile and I guess Lawson Blake came back, that it took some time. And maybe it took too much time in the eyes of you, and maybe you didn't like how the roster was constructed to begin with only 9 guys. You've now lost a third of those 9 guys from last year between Big Z going to Illinois, Boogie and Adu both declaring for the NBA draft. But that's I think that's John, it's a beef that is at least warranted in the sense like you just want to know. I will give you a tie tidbit this morning. Are you ready, Tommy? Are you ready, Colton? Are you ready?
Well,
are you ready,
hang on,
audience?
let me put my seatbelt on.
Listen.
Hang on.
We were talking about Les Miles, and I'll bring this up. I don't often try to break news or report on something because I just rather react to it. I'm lazy. I'd rather just say it after the fact. But I will give you a tie. Nick Pringle will be the first commitment / signee for this Arkansas basketball program out of the portal. That is a tie tidbit.
Now,
I don't think that's been reported.
Are you pulling that from the backside, or
no,
do you have a reason to say that?
I actually have a reason to say that.
Do you have sources?
I don't often accuse myself of having sources, but in this case I do, because they're often inaccurate. But in this case, in the first time in nearly 7 years of doing this show, I will say that I have a reliable source that Nick Pringle will be the first Arkansas signee / commitment with this Razorback basketball team. I don't want to end up like Herb Street did in 2007 when he reported that Les Miles was going to Michigan, and then he didn't. And after that, Kirk said he would never report on anything again. I hope to not end up in that situation. But as it stands at 9:11 this morning here on What's Your Beef Wednesday, Nick Pringle will be the first commitment / Arkansas Razorback signee for this basketball team out of the transfer portal.
That's your opinion. Let's make sure no one's tuning in and thinking you're reporting.
That is I'm reporting from via sources that is going to happen. I'm not used to doing this, so I'm glad that you corrected me on that. This is not factual. It's not official. Arkansas hasn't sent out an email or anything.
It's a tie tidbit.
A tie tidbit. A tidbit from tie tidbit. You name it. You can have it. Whatever. All right.
So share it with your friends at your own peril.
Share it with your friends with your own peril. And if you're wrong, you can blame me, and I'll never report on anything again. All right. Let's get into our opening drop.
I believe that we'll be a lot better on offense, more consistent, more explosive, because our quarterback understands not only what we're doing, but what the conference is all about. How you have to be able to get the ball out of your hand, how you have to be able to see things and know what you're doing just because of the pass rush that you're going to get and the tight coverage that you're going to get. So I think he'll take a huge step forward, and as your quarterback goes, your offense usually goes.
This is the opening drive.
All right, so that's Bobby Petrino. Hadn't heard from him in a while talking about, again, offense and upcoming season. Tommy, you're going to get a chance to hear from Travis Williams on, I guess, Thursday, if I remember that timeline right, Colton. But what'd you glean from Petrino just talking there? And you've been doing stuff, so I'm going to guess you hadn't listened to his whole press conference. But
no, but I heard that clip, and then I saw another one on Reels last night. And
nice.
Listen, it doesn't... it doesn't take. I don't need a tie tidbit to understand that. There's a lot of layers of learning that go into this offense, and it's one thing for the quarterback to have the full grasp and really to get Petrino and Taylon Green on the same page. Then you got to bring all these other players, including the linemen. I mean, football is almost like golf. A lot of things have to go right for a play to work, kind of like your golf swing. About 1,500 things have to go right to hit one good shot. But only one thing has to go wrong to mess the whole thing up. Football's kind of that way. 10 guys can get their assignment and do exactly what they're supposed to do, and one guy doesn't execute his block or his pass route or his pass, and the whole thing's messed up. So, that I don't know that's a good correlation or analogy, as you say. But there's my tie tidbit for the morning that a football play and a golf swing have some similarities in that way.
There you go.
And I think learning all of that from Petrino in short bites, because really spring football is 15 practices, counting the final red-white game. It's going to take a lot longer than that.
All right, let's talk to Jay and Rogers this morning here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. He's got a beef for us. Jay, go ahead, man.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Good morning.
Morning. Hey, I got a beef that's not related to sports.
Go right ahead.
Okay.
This is there is no
All right.
restrictions.
All right. Maybe it's just a problem in Rogers. I don't know. But I live close to the Greenway, runs from Missouri to Little Rock, I think. I don't know. Goes forever. All right. We've spent millions of tax dollars on these greenways, pathways, bike trails and stuff. Why in the world do the spandex guys have to ride their bicycles down the middle of the street next to the sidewalk? And then when you pass them, if you get a little too close, they start flipping you the bird and yelling at you like you're doing something wrong. Why can we not keep them on the bike paths, guys?
I could not be more on your side, Jay, when it comes to whether it's in Rogers or anywhere across our state, anywhere in the United States for that matter. Tommy, I don't know where you stand on bikes on the road, and I know they have a right to the roadways as well, blah, 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 blah. I'm with Jay. Keep them on the sidewalk.
Can I drive my car on the bike trail?
Yeah, I don't understand that. It's like
we built you your own place. Go there.
And okay, I don't want to come off as like disrespectful because I don't live and die by that sector of like working out and stuff, and that's just not something I do. My uncle, for example, diehard biker, did all these different marathons and stuff. Was really good, and I enjoyed watching him from time to time. But if there's bike trails for a reason, like, are you just I don't know. Are you trying to show how tough you are? Like, I don't get it. I'm with Jay. I mean, where do you come down on that?
I just don't understand why. We've been talking this month. Our message from the Arkansas Highway Safety Office about distracted drivers. I have two friends that have both been hit by cars riding their bike for exercise. That's reason 1 through 50 for me on why I'm not riding a bike on the street very much. A, I don't own one, but B, if I did, I wouldn't ride it on the street. There's too many idiots out there behind the wheel of a car not paying attention, run me over. I don't know why they want to be on the street in my way. But, I tend to agree with you and Jay on that.
As best we can.
Get off the roads. Get on your bike trail.
We're all in we're all in the same line of thinking when it comes to that, Tommy.
Yeah. All right, that's your opening drive. It's brought to you by Farm Credit. Hey, do you want to spruce up your existing home or start from the ground up? Either way, check with Farm Credit of Western Arkansas first before you get started and find out why for more than 100 years, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas has helped local families just like yours make their dream home come true. And visit myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com, or stop by any of their 25 locations today, Ty.
Stephen Paris, back to the grass thing that you were messing with me about. He has asked his grass not to. He kneeled down, he bent down, and asked his grass personally not to grow so fast. Based on your years of experience, does that work?
No. But I think in your case it would, because you're so full of it that the fertilization that would come from within would work. You know why their grass is so green and yours is not right now? You do know and I'm not messing with you here. That's ryegrass. No, it's the kind of grass. That's all rye.
You want to get in the weeds?
I don't know. You may or may not be. Well, I mean, it's a kind of grass.
Weeds.
I mean, you have Bermuda, I would guess, in your yard. Maybe zoysia, but probably Bermuda. They have that entire course is ryegrass. So it dies and burns out when the weather gets warm. So Augusta National, for those that don't know, from about May till October is closed. There is no golf at Augusta in the summer. It's not a year-round golf course. They don't reopen again until October, not far after this event, because the grass is dead. It's dormant. So there you go. There's your there's another Ty tidbit. You can go wow your friends with that knowledge.
Don't steal the Ty tidbit.
No, I'm giving you material that you can use that as a Ty tidbit at the bar tonight.
Those are reserved for reports only, and hopefully future factual information that as of now is just a sourced report that we don't know if it's true or not. It's a highly sourced report, but I'm just telling you, I think that's it's gonna I think it's going to happen. JN and Havana texting in here on the Lewis Automotive Group online saying spray some MSMA on it. What is that, Tommy? Is that like fertilizer of sorts?
Yeah.
It says you won't have to mow for 3 months. Does that kill the grass though?
Yeah. Well, he wanted you to put what on it?
MSMA.
Listen, I'm not familiar with all these chemicals, but if it kills the grass, then it's not a fertilizer. No. You just need to get you one of these companies that come out and spray your yard.
It's probably smart. Well, I don't know what looks.
You want it to look great?
No,
get one to spray it for you.
Tell you what looks good right now is Bob Walker Stadium, and not just what the look of the field looks like, but how the Arkansas baseball team's playing it. They win 7-3 last night over Arkansas State. You know what? Our buddy Stats, Tommy, I was texting him a little bit yesterday. Brett Norrisworthy, who does radio in Memphis, he said Arkansas State's not the little brother. They're the kid that mows the yard down the street. That's how he referred. I died when I heard that. But Arkansas State
They're
now,
not
I think,
a bad team. They're not a bad baseball team.
They're probably better than Missouri.
Well,
that'd be a heck of a series.
That's good. That's a good point. And when I was looking up through some of the SEC teams and the stats yesterday for our Pradco Pyramid of Power, Arkansas State, they were in there, So I mean, they're not a horrible baseball team. I don't say it's a high quality win for the Hogs last night, but it was a good win indeed. Hey, if you haven't downloaded the Bet Saracen app, be sure and get that on your Apple app, or get on your Apple phone in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store for your Android device. It's Arkansas's favorite sports betting app, whether it's your cell phone, tablet, or your computer. They've got Major League Baseball, college baseball, the NBA, it's all there. It's the Bet Saracen app. Find out more at betsaracen.com.
All right, so we got our hog update coming up. Tommy's live in Vegas, soon to be in Phoenix, Arizona. If you've got some thoughts, you can jump in here. Lewis Automotive Hotline open, 877-377-6963. Cal was in Oklahoma City last night. We're going to address that. Arkansas softball got some awards this week, plus where Isaac Tesla might end up in the National Football League if he gets drafted. All that's coming up here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday edition of the Morning Rush.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Hey, do y'all know what time it is? It's about 2:30.
Summertime?
It's that and a whole lot more.
And no matter what's happening, the Stadium Shop has what you need.
We have the best selection for showing off your Razorback spirit while on vacation, even Razorback swim trunks.
Graduations, anniversaries, birthdays, we have what you need for your event.
And we have what you need for that trip to Omaha. Even a new line of hard shell luggage.
Also, Omaha tees, flags, bases, loaded hats, and the boppers.
And you can get them here at the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium. Or you can check us online at those WWNs. Dad, let me do that before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, shoponrazorback.com.
And if you can't reach us there, call us at 479-STADIUM.
All from the only family, alumni-owned and operated Razorback store. South of the North Pole. Dad, please.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
The Morning Rush finished 1 and 2 in this thing. Just saying.
Top
top of the list.
This is the Morning Rush.
It's time for the Rath Rod Replacement Sale at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, bring in your old car and get up to $3,750 above the appraised market value for your trade. Take advantage of over $20,000 in recent price reductions on our road-ready certified pre-owned inventory, inspected and reconditioned in our on-site Meineke Car Care Center and backed by comprehensive warranty. It's the Rath Rod Replacement Sale all this month at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
We all plan to be on time, but fender bending, damaged windshield, and slick road quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren. I'm ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So you've got a favorite football team. Your painting team at the paint store in Van Buren gets you a solid primer, the perfect color, and a durable defense. That is what you want, right? Our team of Richards Paint and expertise always win for you. Whether contractor or do-it-yourself, we have the best team. The paint store in Van Buren. Go Hogs!
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Along the Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
107 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody, Woo Big Suey. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
1-1. That ball's hammered by Kahio Aloy into deep right center field. Way back it goes. Home run. Kahio Aloy hits his 9th of the season, and the Hogs have a little distance now from A-State. 6-3.
Couple home runs for the Arkansas Razorbacks in a 73 victory over Arkansas State. You heard Kahio Aloy, Phil Elson's call there, and then also Charles Davalon just keeps smashing the baseball as they defeat the Red Wolves yesterday, Baum-Walker Stadium. Tommy, biggest start or best start to the Razorback baseball program in the history in 34 games as they now sit 31-3 this season.
And kind of like in basketball, that's great. But none of it matters till June. And if you're in Omaha, and then, if you ultimately complete, what this program's been trying to get back to since 2018 and, and actually complete the deal. So, 31-3 is awesome, but that's not how I'm going to measure the worth of the season.
And here's why. It sums up to this. Arkansas has accomplished everything except for that. Think about the baseball program. You've been in the College World Series finals twice, once under Coach DeBryan, once under Coach Van Horn. You've won the regular season title. You've won in Hoover. You've had 2 Golden Spikes Award winners. You've I mean, you've done everything as a college baseball program, with the exception of a national title. So when, it's not, you're not like criticizing or demeaning or belittling or anything what Dave's done, but when fans are like looking around, there's just like, there's one thing left. And I know,
I would bet he would agree and say the same thing. You think Ole Miss a couple years ago when they won the Natty, they didn't start out 31-3.
No, they were terrible.
You think they'd go back? Hey, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take away the national title, but we're going to give you a 31-3 start. You think they'd make that deal? Of course not. Nobody would. So, I mean, my point is, it's a great accomplishment. I believe, they are the team to beat. Again, not taking anything away from what they've done, but I don't think that's using a ruler, and we're trying to use a yardstick. And we got bigger things that we want to measure at the end of the year.
And that's just where your baseball program is right now.
Well, I mean, your basketball team didn't start out the way you wanted, but ended up in the Sweet 16. Which, how do we measure the value of the season?
The perspective.
Well, it's the same thing.
Here's the perspective I would have. No idea if this is going to happen. The baseball team runs through it, wins the SEC, does whatever, and then loses in the regional again. And you compare it to basketball. Basketball had a better season. Period. Postseason. That's what matters. That's what anyone cares about. And here is how you justify the statement I just made for anyone that disagrees with it. How many Arkansas fans do you see walking around in regular season title shirts? You know the answer, Tommy? 0, because no one cares. No one sports it. No one talks about it. Players might, coaches might, but the overall fan base cares about postseason success. It will always be that way here in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
That 31-3 is a great start, and it was a good win last night against a team that's better than probably most people think. And let's see what happens this weekend against Georgia.
Cal was in Oklahoma City last night, taking in the Thunder's win over the Lakers. Got a little revenge after the Lakers beat him earlier this week. There was a picture with him and LeBron James. Do now all Michael Jordan fans dislike Cal? Tommy, your thoughts?
Maybe. Is that a good answer? I don't know. I doubt it. So.
I was just cracking up last night when I saw that picture. And that's like, I mean, Cal hasn't played for him, but they know each other. It's just the persona that goes along. That's the type of coach you have. Now, I'm a fan anytime he goes to Oklahoma City because it's not just Jalen and Jay Will getting some love. Cason Wallace. It's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, you've got a lot of Cal connections in that game last night. Jared Vanderbilt played for him as a Los Angeles Laker as well. Continuing on your Hog update, Bree Ellis named SEC Player of the Week. Ella McDowell named SEC Freshman and D1 Freshman of the Week. They were unbelievable in their appearances plate-wise against Florida. Isaac Teslaw has scheduled visits this week, Tommy, with the Lions, Bills, Saints, and Rams, according to ESPN's Fox Sports, I should say, Jordan Schultz when it comes to him. We haven't talked a lot about NFL draft lately, Tommy, but that's on its way here shortly. Landon Jackson, the way he had performances, I should say, at the Combine, he might have played himself into a first or second round pick based on just his measurables and what he was able to do.
They're going to have that in Green Bay, right?
Correct. Yes. Which
Green
would
Bay's
be awesome.
where the draft's at.
I wonder if Brett's going.
That'd be a good place to be.
Think Brett Good's going?
Probably not. But that'd be, I like how they're moving the draft around. Nashville was a couple years ago, and
Kansas
they've
City.
had it in Chicago. I like the fact that they're bringing that out to different places. So.
I'm with you on that. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
That is your Hog Update here on this What's Your Beef Wednesday. Hog Update, always brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
I do want to play some more Bobby Petrino clips coming up because I thought he said a good chunk yesterday. Dave, I mean, there's not a ton you could say. They probably played a little lesser than you expected against Arkansas State. They still won 7-3. I mean, that's just what this baseball team is. Even when they're not at their best, Tommy, they're still going to find a way to win games this season.
Yeah. Hey, Ty, if you're looking for a great ride, there's two choices for you in Northwest Arkansas and Fort Smith. That's Rath Auto Resources.
Yeah, Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi. And right now they've got their Rath Ride Replacement Sale where you can get up to $3,750 more for your trade this month. So whether you go see Larry in Fort Smith or David in Springdale, you know you're going to get more for your trade. And Larry doesn't like go to the auction, neither does David. They want the vehicles to be from around here that they can bolster and restock their lot. So if you're looking to get a new vehicle first time, maybe it's a sports car, a luxury vehicle, truck, you name it, they have it. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. When we return, Morning Rush Daily Question as we roll on, What's Your Beef Wednesday?
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Robert.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Hey, do y'all know what time it is?
It's about 2:30.
Summertime.
It's that and a whole lot more.
And no matter what's happening, the Stadium Shop has what you need.
We have the best selection for showing off your Razorback spirit while on vacation, even Razorback swim trunks.
Graduations, anniversaries, birthdays, we have what you need for your event.
And we have what you need for that trip to Omaha.
Even a new line of hard shell luggage.
Also, Omaha tees, flags, bases, loaded hats, and the boppers.
And you can get them here at the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium. Or you can check us online at those WWNs.
Dad, let me do that before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, shoponrazorback.com.
And if you can't reach us there, call us at 479-STADIUM.
All from the only family, alumni-owned and operated Razorback store.
South of the North Pole.
Dad, please.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go
Hawks.
Boy, I couldn't sound more old or white, could I?
This is the Morning Rush.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So you've got a favorite football team. Your painting team at the paint store in Van Buren gets you a solid primer, the perfect color, and a durable defense. That is what you want, right? Our team of Richards Paint and expertise always win for you. Whether contractor or do-it-yourself, we have the best team. The paint store in Van Buren. Go Hogs!
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
We all plan to be on time, but fender bending, damaged windshield, and slick road quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at CarpathSocial.com.
Is where we stop the love around us. There is nothing that we need in a world of persecution.
It's my turn? All right,
Yep.
I just sat back down.
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry.
You're good.
A little tardy here. Morning Rush Daily Question brought to you by our friends
You
at
get a
Cart Path Social.
We used to get
Do what?
conduct checks back in high school for being late, so you just got.
I was a little tardy there. I'd run into the other room for something. Anyway, sorry about that, but I am back. So
It's only 7:41. How are you already drinking this morning? Jeez.
Look who I work with.
Yeah, that's
Look
fair.
who I work with.
It always comes
So-
back to me. Fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
All right, Morning Rush Daily. I've been in the convention hall all week, and
So you do need a drink.
I do need a drink, but being around people that of different walks of life, there are. This thing is internationally represented with lots of country, but no one pays attention to anything going on around them. Everybody's walking around, when you're trying to go from one room to the other, looking on their phone. What kind of responsibility do you have to pay attention to what's going on around you? This is probably more of a beef than a question, Ty.
Okay.
But does it irritate you as much as it does me when you're trying to get from point A to point B and someone's walking about a half a mile an hour because they're looking at their phone and they have got like 50 people lined up behind it? It's kind of like being the guy at the front of the stoplight and you don't go because you're looking at your phone. I have dealt with, and I try not to be that person. I try not to be that person. Get off to the side. I don't know what the answer is, and there's probably more of a beef than a question with our Cart Path Social Morning Rush Daily Question. You were asking me what's grinding my gears this week. That is one thing that has just irritated the absolute HE double hockey sticks out of me this week is nobody, whether you're walking down the sidewalk or whether you're walking through a convention space, and it happens in Arkansas all the time, where people are just off in la-la land.
So let's bridge off this beef. When someone does something that ticks you off in a public space or forum, whether it's on the road, in a convention center, whatever the case may be, do you say or do anything? Please get at us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877-377.
That's probably a better question.
6963.
What do you do? How do you handle it? Do you heckle? Maybe you start heckling.
Well,
what would be a good heckle?
This is I don't know if this is reverse sexism, but if it's a woman, I don't do anything because I don't want to be accused of being a sexist.
You're a gentleman.
In any way, shape, or form. But if it's a man, I'm more likely to say or do something. That's derogatory a lot of times. Whether it's on the road, of course, I'm not texting on the road nowadays because we're promoting the opposite of that.
Yeah, exactly.
And in addition to that, just in a public place, we obviously represent ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com 24/7. Even when I maybe sometimes have a little too much to drink on the weekends. But that being said, you are a representative of this company, so you should abstain from certain words in the English dictionary or any dictionary from that matter that are. But occasionally,
you've read many, yeah. And you have read many dictionaries.
As the owner of the Merriam-Webster dictionaries, occasionally things boil over. Merriam, whatever. Tomato, potato. Occasionally things boil over and you let loose. So If it is a situation that occurs over and over again, then if it's a one-time thing, like Tommy, if you see the same person, they keep bumping into you, it's like, man, what? And usually I'm just like, hey, man, watch out. That's it. Quick. It's nothing. That's nothing bad. But if it gets to a point where they ignore you or whoever the case may be, then it becomes, hey, bleep, watch out. And again, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I'm just saying what occasionally pops out of my mouth every once in a while. And then occasionally things been escalated after that. But most of the time I don't do anything, especially if it's towards a female, then I will not say a word.
Am I the only? Am I just being over? Am I overly exposed to that this week, or is this something that out there grinds the gears of you and in Colton in our audience, or am I just overly sensitive to it? Because I have been exposed to way too many people this week. I have reached my limit.
What else have you been exposed to out there?
That's a very good question.
Andy texting in says, "Amen, Tommy. Idiots have no self-awareness. iPhones have made us stupid. I second that." Jason from Mountain Home says, "Same, Tommy. Can't stand it." Gavin from Fayetteville says, "I feel your pain, Tommy. I had 2 separate people run into me at Bomb last weekend. They were on their phones. It's barely like anyone's there."
That's exactly right.
I think that's what else we got? If they irritate you on a bicycle, BE says just do a bump check. Just a text. By the way, we did get a message earlier from Curtis who said he is a bike rider, but he definitely uses the bike trail. So Curtis, thank you for being a bike rider. That I actually, and again, I have friends that bike and they cycle and they do that thing. That's fine. I just not the biggest fan of it on the roads. But it seems like that your beef / question this morning has definitely occurred for other people as well. And they wholeheartly agreed with you based on the feedback we're receiving here on the Lewis Automotive Group text hotline.
All right, so we do sports, but every once in a while, I think we need to venture off the sports trail and have a Morning Rush Daily Question that tackles the big obstacles in life, and that is one I am dealing with.
Mason says, "My beef is when the boss gets a free trip to Vegas and has something new to gripe about every day." That's a good one, Mason. All right, that's your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
At least I didn't lose the last game out here. So
in Vegas, it was the national champion. Who was going to beat UConn?
I'm just messing with you and your road record.
Oh yeah. I think that I went 2-0 in Providence, or the team. It's always the team gets the credit when they win, and I get the credit when they lose. It's funny how that works. Feel like Bobby Petrino and Sam Pittman from time to time. All right, that's your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Number one place to golf indoors in Arkansas. You can play Augusta National. You can play one of over 1,000 courses that they have at Cart Path Social. 122 Grant Place in Lowell. 479-487-3622. Give Christian and Nate a call today, or you can book online at cartpathsocial.com. So anything you regret not doing in Vegas before you leave later on and head out to Phoenix later today?
I regret not getting on a plane and coming back to Arkansas, but work is work. I am ready to be home, I'll be honest with you. But no, I mean, listen, Vegas is a vacation spot for most. It's been a work spot this week, and I've been very clear about how I feel about the place. So it's if you're here to have fun, it's one thing. If you're going to sit in the sports books and do all that, but I guess my only regret is I should have put more than 100 on Florida the other night. That'd be my one regret.
That's a regret. I guess you can.
I should have put 1,000 on them instead of 100.
Should have hammered. You should have trusted Walter Clayton.
No guts.
No
guts.
So. Listen, it's always like when you sit back after your winnings, you're like, man, I could have won that, but it doesn't always pan out like that. You think, man, this worked out, and then it just ended up not. All right, Kevin's in.
You know how sick I'd have been watching most of that game, knowing I had 1,000 on it.
Oof.
And
it would have been. It would have been fun.
It would have been miserable.
Yeah.
So
Kevin's in Rogers this morning. He has a beef for us here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. Kevin, good morning.
Hey guys, haven't talked to you. I didn't get through yesterday, Ty, and talk about about the championship game. But hey, it is what it is. I was really pulling for Houston from our conversation.
Me too.
But the beef stuff, hey, let me tell you, and they played well enough to win, but we're not going to, go into that. I will say this about that last play, and then I'll tell you my beef. it was just kind of dumbfounded. I would put it up there in probably the top 3, and I don't know if y'all agree with this. We all remember Chris Webber's flub, against North Carolina, the timeout. That play has got to be in the top 3 of bonehead, got to get rid of the ball, shoot it or something, just going straight up and coming straight down. You have to do something. Throw it up.
Kevin, go back.
Throw it off
go back and watch. Hang on, I want to tell you something. Go back and watch that video because someone pointed this out to me this morning. Go back and watch Emmanuel Sharp on that, and watch where he comes from before he catches the pass. There's something very interesting about that play. And I watched it a few times this morning. Had someone send it to me. Both of his feet were out of bounds, and he was next to touch the ball.
Oh,
if properly called, that's a turnover based on him touching the ball. So that didn't get called, but the fact that he was out of bounds, go look at the play, and I've watched it 3 times this morning. He had both feet out of bounds on his own, voluntarily, came in and caught that pass when he jumped up and then dropped it and couldn't get the shot off. If properly adjudicated by the rules, that's a turnover, him just touching the ball.
Adjudicated, huh?
Yeah, that was just, and another beef I want to get to the Vegas thing, but I'll just say, that goaltending non-call was a big play in the game, and I'll tell you why.
Yep. They're
not calling that goaltend, one way or another to be able to play it. They got the rebound, and they hit a 3. That was a huge momentum shift. That was a big deal in the game. Anyway, the Vegas thing, I agree with you. Hey, I went for the first time, 6 years ago, and I was all excited and pumped up and drank too much, which I don't drink now, but we were there 6 days, and and it was July, and that was the biggest. Because it was we were going to a wedding for one of the children. I said, and I promised my wife, because she doesn't, indulge in stuff. I said, we'll go back, and we went back in the fall. But you're right; it's just that is by far the most expensive, I think, trip you can take in the United States. It's ridiculous.
No question.
It's
I took my family to Hawaii cheaper last week. Or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So my other beef is the whole cell phone thing. I spent 25 years in the car business. And every car, every vehicle, every truck that's a newer model has Bluetooth. I don't understand. You catch someone at a stoplight or a stop sign, they're driving a brand new Denali, and they're holding up their phone talking. Do you not know how to use Bluetooth? You're not even supposed to be doing that. Nothing aggravates me more when I see all these vehicles from 5 years or newer, and they're not using Bluetooth. They're using their phone, and they're not paying attention. That's all I have to say. It's probably a stupid beef, but I think it's moronic.
Kevin, I think you and Tommy have a lot of things to agree on this morning. It seems like he was in every one of your camps.
We could be fast friends. Yeah, we could be fast friends there. So it is a What's Your Beef Wednesdays, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Richard's Country Meat Market's been around since 1993, so Richard and his staff, his wife Karen, they do such a great job. Check him out online, richardscountrymeatmarket.com, 479-443-0000. They offer curbside service, so anything you need from beef, pork, chicken. They do big freezer bundles as well. We've been talking about the shrimp boils. They got all the shrimp and the seasoning and the corn and the potatoes and the sausages that they make in-house for your spring shrimp boils as well. Do something good for the Masters this weekend. They can get you fixed up. Richard's Country Meat Market, online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com or just off College on North Market Avenue in Fayetteville.
Hour number 2 coming up. We'll talk to Richard Davenport when we return.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by 2 of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Mega Millions now has better odds, bigger prizes, and the highest starting jackpot in America. Top prizes start at $50 million and increase rapidly until someone wins. What else is new? How about no more break-even prizes? Win anywhere from 2 to 10 times your bet. And the multiplier? It's no longer an add-on. Mega Millions is always $5 per play, bells and whistles included. Play today in stores or on the go. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer. Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Road Chevrolet and the Van Buren Boys and Girls Club are teaming up to make this Saturday a day to remember. Starting at 10, be there for cornhole games. You can shoot hoops. Plus, come by and see former Van Buren and Razorback standout Matt Jones. Be there as Road Chevrolet launches sales tax paid on select 2024 and 25 models, plus a chance to win $500 off any vehicle purchased. With every vehicle sold, Rhodes is donating a portion of the proceeds to the Van Buren Boys and Girls Club. Road Chevrolet this Saturday, 10 a.m. for fun, games, hot dogs, and big savings. 2800 Alma Highway, Van Buren. Road Chevrolet. See dealer for details.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work, and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit inatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be well into the middle 70s. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, and overnight low will drop down into the low 50s. Partly to mostly sunny on Thursday. Our high temperatures low 70s north, upper 70s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
You're listening to the Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3. KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Don't touch my beef jerky now.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to the final round of this tradition unlike any other.
People ask if you could only play one golf course for the rest of your life, what would it be? And I think walking around this place every day would be pretty cool. I don't think there's a more beautiful golf course on earth. You're playing golf in the prettiest park in the world, basically.
Could be the biggest moment of his career.
Even from watching on TV, nothing prepares you for the greens.
Need to see him to believe him. TV definitely doesn't do it justice. Once you're on property, it's sort of a holy smokes moment. It's one of the few courses that you've been playing that course in your head since you're 5 years old, and you've seen all the shots.
The return to glory.
I don't know any other way to describe it other than this, an incredibly special, unique place that we all feel there's this different energy that's here.
Maybe. Yes, sir!
Tomorrow, it starts. It is Wednesday at the Masters.
This is the Morning Rush.
All right, so what would you shoot in the par 3 contest, Tommy?
Let's see, 27 would be par. In front of all those people. I don't know, if you could break 30, that'd be a great day. If you could be at 30 or better, that'd be awesome, right? I'd probably about a 32.
I was hoping to break like
on
50,
those greens.
50.
On those greens? Oh no.
I was hoping to just break 50. You've got your sights set a lot higher than I do when I was thinking about that as we're listening in this morning. Great job, by the way.
Par 3. You know.
Yeah, but it's Augusta in the greens. Now, the important thing is the food that Scotty Scheffler was talking about this week.
Hey, Scotty. So obviously the clear highlight of the Champions Dinner menu is the raviolis. Are you guys going to have any kind of fun make-your-own ravioli station or going to be sharing any tips on ravioli making?
In terms of if I was trying to take out the competition, I would definitely do a demonstration, something along those lines. But yeah, hopefully avoid the injuries. Maybe they'll cut up my steak for me. I won't have to use a knife or anything like that. We'll see.
Did you ever get encouraged by your coaches back in the day, Tommy, not to eat so much? Remember how the moms used to feed us in junior high and high school? No. That's not a shot.
I've been encouraged by a lot of people not to eat so much.
But that's not a shot at you. I'm just saying, think back when you were a kid and your mom or dad or coaches were like, "Hey, even though there's all this food here, don't eat it." I'm going to be honest, I never listened. I'd eat chili cheese dogs before football games. I didn't care. By the way, chili cheese dogs back in the
when you knew you weren't going to play, it didn't matter, right?
Oh, come on. That's just a pot shot right there. But it's accurate. But I just think about it's like Scotty's trying to get these guys full this week so they won't be on their game later on. He is the favorite for those that don't know heading into this weekend. He hadn't won in 2025 just yet, which is for his standards kind of odd. He's 4-1 odds, Tommy, to win the Masters this week.
I don't know how you bet against him. He's world's number one for a reason. So, all right, that's where we begin this hour. What's Your Beef Wednesdays, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville, the spot for premium prime steaks. And the thing I love about Richard's, you walk in and there's something you're looking for, and it's not in that cabinet. No hand cut it for you. Hey, I want a bone-in ribeye that's about 2 inches thick. Done, no problem. Hey, I want some of your house-made burgers, and I want them to be a certain way or a certain size. Done. They've got lobster tails. They got the shrimp you're looking for. They've got premium chicken and freezer bundles. So, and the sides that go along with any meal are there as well. It's Richard's Country Meat Market, 479-443-0000, or see them at 3042 North Market Avenue, just off College in Fayetteville and East Rolling Hills Drive.
So jealousy, coveting, whatever you want to call it. I guess a beef of mine, and I know you and I share the same thought process. What is the deal with golfers' wives? Like, why do they seemingly have the most attractive females attached at their side on the planet? I don't get it. I've never understood it. I get the baseball thing, like to a certain extent, but explain that to me. And I guess it's a beef that it's just I don't have an attractive female standing next to me and on my side 24/7. That is a beef as I see all these golfers and then all their wives participate with them in the practice round earlier this week, or you see them on the television screen, whether it's CBS or ESPN. That's a beef of mine, Tommy, this week, as it is every time there's a big golf.
Your beef is, I'm trying, you've talked around that. Your beef is what exactly?
The jealousy that
they
I have
always have
towards
beautiful women?
The golfers, yes. The jealousies I have towards the beautiful females that are around the golfers.
There might be a correlation to their skill.
Yes, the precision. I guess we could talk about.
NASCAR wives aren't bad either. So, but yeah, I'm glad. Is that why you're watching this weekend? Not just for the azaleas and the great golf?
One of the many reasons. I will say I am drawn, like when I'm on a golf course, like there's this place called Century World up in Wisconsin that has apparently like the best display of flowers of any golf course in the country. And I was like, I kind of want to see that. Just I'm not big on aesthetics and like outdoor stuff when it comes to like, oh, it has to look this way or whatever. But when I do see it, I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. So yes, I'll watch for the azaleas amongst other things in the next few days.
All right, that's where we're at. Richard Davenport coming up in a bit. We're brought to you by the Fence Man. 782-3936 is the number. Call the Fence Man. He can give you a quote on your custom fence or gating project. A lot of people working through how to do powered automatic gates. Very popular. In fact, they got a couple of crews that's what they do is build and install powered automatic gates, and they got one crew or one team member that he deals with all the electronics, and that's what he does, and services gates and make sure they work just right for you and your organization, whether it's at work or at home. They do powered automatic gates for all kinds of applications. 782-3936, the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Hog Wild and Van Buren and Gavin in Fayetteville boil it down to this. Here's a tip, Ty. Money attracts chicks. Dude, golf is a rich person sport, and those guys have it, and you don't. Hey, way to cut to the chase. Way to get to the point. Gavin in Fayetteville and Hog Wild and Van Buren. All right, let's talk some more recruiting with our guy Richard Davenport here on the Morning Rush.
Do you know what the preservation room is for?
Delicious jams and jellies? No. Richard Davenport on the Morning Rush is brought to you by House of Webster. From the heart of Arkansas, House of Webster delivers top-tier jams, jellies, and sauces with a flavor you can't find anywhere else.
Got the tap.
All right, RD, we got a text earlier in the show from John in Mountain Home. Anxious, antsy. Like Arkansas hasn't added a player just yet out of the portal. We saw the news of Adu Thero and that he is entering the NBA draft. Any chatter, any thoughts on Arkansas maybe getting a player to commit soon, sometime this week?
Yeah, I think by the end of the weekend we'll probably hear some news. I'd be shocked if we don't. The dead period ends after the 10th, and things start happening then. Dead period, as far as that allows guys to start visiting, and coaches being on the road to be able to visit prospects, transfers, or what have you. But I think sometime this weekend. Late last week, I was hearing promising stuff about Malik Ewing, the big man from Florida State, and also Nick Pringle from South Carolina. I think Arkansas, at least the last that I checked, I feel optimistic about those two guys. Still checking on some others, but those two I feel optimistic about. Not saying that they're for sure coming, but I think things, at least the last I checked, were trending in the right direction.
Hang on, Richard, because Ty Richardson earlier reported here on the Morning Rush it was a Ty tidbit that Nick Pringle would be the first to sign for the Razorbacks
going out
of the portal. What do you say to that?
It wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm just reason you're cautious about going out on a limb about kids you got agents involved, and what's their number one priority? Try to get the most money for their kids, with all the activity. Let's face it. We've talked about college basketball, college football being the wild, wild west. That's exactly what you got, and agents are running this whole thing. Let me tell you, and they're becoming more sophisticated, especially the ones that really kind of got into the business recently. They're starting to learn the ropes and become a little bit more sophisticated in how they do business and how you do that. If you do it right, you can get your client a little bit more money, and obviously you get a percentage of that. So there's a lot of activity that that's never going to be made public, but a lot of stuff's going on, and sometimes you get the information and it sounds really good, and then it can change in a heartbeat. So that's why I'm reluctant to say it's a done deal, but I like I said, I am optimistic. We'll see.
On Edu Thero, there wasn't any mention in his Instagram and Twitter posts about the possibility of coming back and maintaining his college eligibility. Artie, does that lead us to believe it's NBA or bust, or is there still a chance that we could see him in an Arkansas uniform next year?
That's how I would take it. I mean, his family is pretty educated about basketball and how things work, and I'm sure that they got good representation, and Coach Cal and other people, I'm sure helped him as far as what the NBA is thinking about where he would go in the draft. So I think for the most part, guys usually say they're entering the draft with but also keeping the door open to coming back. So, and he didn't mention that obviously. So I tend to think that he's headed where he said he was going.
You mentioned his family. His dad is coaching a USA team. I know he's a Pittsburgh native. I saw he was coaching J.J. Andrews, Sean's son, who's going to be a class of 2026 kid that a lot of people should be interested in, not just Arkansas but elsewhere. Isn't his dad involved with USA basketball somehow, RD?
Yeah, I saw that too, and I'll be honest with you, that was the first that I knew about that. There's obviously some kind of connection there. So, and JJ seemed pretty excited to have that picture taken with him. So I really haven't checked into that, but usually basketball dads are usually involved in some way in basketball. Whether coaching or AAU or what have you. But it does seem like that's the case. But I'm not certain about it.
Yeah. Richard Davenport with us here on the Morning Rush, talking all things recruiting. So let's flip over to football. I know that football going through spring practice. I know a lot of coaches have come in. The spring football has been a little more open, or a lot more open to the media this time of the year. What's important here is as we go through spring, and I know it won't be very many more visits away. In a couple of months, we'll be talking about their summer camps.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And in no time, probably July, it'll start heating up about the first game of the year and what kind of season they're going to have and stuff like that. But I was at Saturday's practice, and I know that every year you have or you hear about optimism, but last year there was optimism going into spring practice and in the middle of spring practice and going into the season. And I think the same is here. I think anytime you have an SEC team, that you're going to have good quality athletes, good quality football players, and there's going to be reason for optimism. The thing is, our Arkansas last year, and we've talked about it many times, is you cut down the turnovers and they win 8 or 9 games. That's going to be I think that's going to be the case this year. If they can minimize the turnovers, I think they have a chance to have a better than average season. So we'll see. And I do. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to dispute Coach Petrino, but I think we've all kind of thought with Taylor Green going into the second year under Coach Petrino and being familiar with the league, that he should take about a 10, 15, 20% jump as far as an improvement. And if he does that and minimizes the turnovers and protects the ball better, that ought to equal a few more wins, I would think. But we'll see. But I think offensively, I think they got a chance to be pretty special just because of his ability. But also, I think the offensive line has a chance to be improved, and I think the receivers are going to surprise some people. I think there was optimism going into spring practice about the receivers and the transfers and what they have, as far as high school guys on the team and also the running back position. I think there's no doubt. I saw Braylon Russell, and there's no doubt he's definitely lost some weight. He looks a little quicker. And then I think Mike Washington is definitely a good addition. The New Mexico State running back. So I think those two guys are going to carry the load. But and then defensively, I think you have probably as much talent, young talent, at the linebacker position that you've had at Arkansas in a long time. Obviously that has to translate to, on the field. But I think you're starting to see that in spring practice, and you got some older guys that are already, have been contributors. So I think that definitely helps. So, and then I think Cameron Ball and David Oakey, David just came back, but with them missing a lot of the spring practice, I think it's given some of the other defensive linemen, especially inside guys, a lot of reps, and I think that's going to bode well for the season.
All right, let's go back to that offensive line for just one more second. I think that's where a lot of people say, "No, let's go over that again." What'd you see as far as depth? And I mean, you hit on a few guys there, but is this going to be an offensive line, in your opinion, based on watching a few practices that can be, 8 or 9 guys deep come September?
That's what I've been hearing for since probably early February. That they're going to have 8 or 9 guys. Last year they had about 6. This year they have about 8 or 9 guys that they believe that they can play SEC football. And one of them, I'll be honest with you, I'm somewhat surprised. He was the first guy that ran out at right tackle. I'm talking about Shaq McCoy, the massive Oregon transfer, all 6'8", 370 or whatever. Whatever he ate the night before, I'm sure, impacted his weight from day to day. But I thought, I'll be honest with you, I thought that he would probably be more of a development guy and maybe contribute next year. But he's going to play. He's going to play, and I think they've been pleasantly surprised that he's came in and he's able to move his feet well enough to play at tackle, and he's definitely making inroads, and I was kind of surprised to see him out there be the first right tackle. So I think he's the one that a lot of people were excited about. But I'll be honest with you, like I said, I thought that he may be a year away, but evidently that's not the case. And when you're as massive as he is, and he's one of the biggest kids I've ever run into doing this. Not only just forget about, maybe him, might get beat or whatever. Maybe his feet's not the way they should be, as far as in pass pro. He is so big, just to get around him is a chore. That right there in itself can help you, and then all he has to do is lean on you. And if he gets his hands on you, I don't know too many defensive linemen that are going to be able to fight off a 370-pound, 6'8" guy that's as massive and as strong as he is.
All right, last question, RD, before we let you go. I think Arkansas fans, some have forgotten that A.J. Green is back. Former Razorback, Oklahoma State Cowboy, now I guess in the defensive backfield for now. Have you got a chance to see him at all?
Yeah, I saw him, and I asked some people, and they've been happy with what he's been doing in spring. So I think you're going to see him on the field next year. Spelling Russell and Washington, but I think with his speed, I'm sure that Coach Petrino will try to find some packages that can help him get on the field and utilize that speed. So
So he is playing running back. It's not, because I know there are rumors.
Yeah, he is playing running back, and initially I was told he was going to be a defensive back, but that obviously wasn't the case. I think they went into spring, saying most likely thinking, okay, let's give this guy a chance at running back. A lot of times you give guys whatever position that they want to play. You usually give him a shot, and he's done enough, obviously, evidently, to stay there. So you got to be happy for him. He's back to where he originally started. So I'll be excited to see him on Thursday when they scrimmage, and then obviously for the spring game.
Our conversations with Richard Davenport every single Wednesday, brought to you by House of Webster. 90 years in Arkansas, right here in Rogers, houseofwebster.com. Richard, I know you were eating on the cherry preserve just straight out of the jar like my dad does to do it.
I did that Sunday night, and I think I texted you about that. I got a small little teaspoon. I mean, about not even a teaspoon, and I think I ate about half of it, and I was like, gosh, I get, obviously the calories are pretty high, but it was so good, I couldn't stop it. I love cherries, but the cherry preserves, excellent.
I know our strawberry preserves at our house is almost gone. My roommate's been putting them on his biscuits, and I'm like, where is this going? It's like, I've been using it, so that makes sense. Well, Richard, we appreciate...
I got some blueberry, and I'm going to be working on that too, but anyway.
Blueberries coming up next. Richard, we appreciate the time this morning per usual, and we'll chat next week, okay, buddy?
See you guys. Take care.
I need to get on y'all's grocery list, that y'all both got... some good stuff in the pantry there.
It's hard to beat, man. I'm telling you, that's the best strawberry preserves I've ever had, and it even I say I was forced. I did on my own, put it on the steak, and I'll maintain that it was good. I don't care what anyone else says. It tasted good.
It probably did taste good. I mean, how could you put something that tastes that good on something else that tastes that good and it be bad? Just
exactly.
Weird.
See, you understand. It took you a week or so, but you finally get where I'm saying.
No, I get it, but anyway, I guess I need to get by. They're in Rogers, right?
Yes, Rogers.
What Richard just said.
Houseofwebster.com, or you can stop by and see them in person as well.
I'll go by and see them in person. So, hey, we're brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group. Top quality aggregates like asphalt, ready-mix concrete, sand, gravel, anything you need from a material standpoint to complete your job. They've got it. It doesn't matter if you need, 100 loads of gravel or ready mix. You need 1,000 yards of ready mix, or you need 2 yards to complete a project around your house. No job's too big or small for APAC and Standard Materials Group. Their service is top-notch. 479-587-3300 for all your rock, asphalt, and ready-mix needs. 479-587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
I don't have many regrets going to the University of Arkansas, but one thing I wish I would have done is gotten a minor in business, because then I could have learned Excel. Now, Petrino was talking about this a little bit yesterday. The interaction was kind of funny. Take a listen.
Celan said that you two have a full Excel grade sheet where you grade on decision making and execution. And I'm just curious, when you looked back with him and kind of diagnosed last season, what were the main things that stood out?
Did you say full Excel?
He said y'all have a full Excel grades sheet.
What's Excel?
Something
That's kind of where I'm at right now with this technology stuff. So my Excel is to be able to get on the computer and do football.
I thought that was funny. Here's my thing. I don't have a Microsoft Office account anymore. I haven't had one since I think my senior year of college, which I guess was 7-8 years ago. And I did not go through these different classes, these different courses on the different things you can utilize with Excel. I use Google Sheets, Google Drive, Google slides, everything else. That's the way to go. I stand by that. Just
No,
like I do.
I mean, let me tell you, when you do that, you're like the one guy in the text group that has the Android. You're the one guy in the 15-person group that has everybody else has an Apple, and you're popping up green. No, you can't. That's not the way the business world works. So you're the guy holding up the whole text thread because you're the one Android guy. You're the weirdo. Yeah.
And yet
that's what you do when you try to put Google Sheets into a business environment.
Google Sheets is better than Excel. Google Sheets is better than
how do you know you've never used
PowerPoint.
Excel?
I've used Power.
No,
used
it's
Excel.
not. I've used them both, and it's not even close.
You're right. It's not even close.
Not even
Google
close.
stuff is 10,000 times better than Microsoft Office.
Which one do you want me to release our grade
are
sheets
so
on for the
wrong.
day, Ty?
What you said?
Which one do you want me to put our grade sheets on for the day? I'm going to start doing that for us. You want to use it Excel or Google Sheets?
I prefer Google Sheets. I mean, the great thing about Google Sheets is it adapts to Excel. Excel can't adapt to Google Sheets, but Google Sheets can adapt to Excel. One
There's
of
a reason for
the
that.
one of the many great things that Google can do, but Microsoft can't. And I will again stand by that, like strawberry reserves. On
Microsoft
steak.
could, but
I just
but
choose
it's
not.
a lot. Their suite of stuff, software is so superior to Google. It's not even close.
Well,
it's not even close.
I guess we can. That is a beef of mine. It's just the annoyance of Microsoft Excel on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. SEC update coming up.
I'll give you a subscription.
I'm good.
Would that change your mind? I'll give you a subscription,
and I'll give it to Colton.
I've got a free one. I'll give it to you.
I don't.
All right.
I'm not even going to use it. I prefer Sheets, Excel, Docs, everything Google related rather than Microsoft. You try.
All right, you be an Android guy. Be an Android guy. That's fine.
I'm an iPhone guy, but at least in this case, you can call me the Android guy. I will say I'm with you on the Android stuff.
So, hey, Oakline, if you don't have the Oakline Anywhere app and you need to get, I know we've had the Arkansas Derby, but now you've got to get ready for the Kentucky Derby that's coming up. If you don't have the Oakline Anywhere app, you need it. There's live racing through May the 3rd, so don't forget to make Oakline part of your plans. And if you have an iPhone and an iPad, you can download the Oakline Anywhere app in the Apple App Store. And, Android users, they got a spot for you, bet.oakline.com, and you can save it to your home screen. New members sign up, you get a $150 sign-up bonus. Use the promo code RUSH25. They got a full weekend of racing. We'll talk to Lang later this week, racing Friday through Sunday with post time at 12:20. On Saturday, April the 12th, for the Apple Blossom Week that's coming up right now. Again, promo code RUSH25. Get the Oakline Anywhere app and get your $150 sign-up bonus when you do it now with the Oakline Anywhere app.
Stay off the weed.
By the way, Tommy, Stephen A. has not ruled out now running for president in 2008. I I don't know if you saw that.
He was
headline.
here this week. He
Oh,
was here at
was
the
he?
NAB show. Yeah,
Okay.
he did a fireside chat this week here at NAB.
You can say what you want about Stephen A. Smith. That guy's worked his tail off. I mean, he from where he was to where he is now. Like some of the stories I've read about him that he shared, it's pretty unbelievable. SEC update coming up next. We'll get into some of the baseball games of the weekend, what Arkansas was able to do last night in the midweek game against Arkansas State. Next.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Mega Millions now has better odds, bigger prizes, and the highest starting jackpot in America. Top prizes start at $50 million and increase rapidly until someone wins. What else is new? How about no more break-even prizes? Win anywhere from 2 to 10 times your bet. And the multiplier? It's no longer an add-on. Mega Millions is always $5 per play, bells and whistles included. Play today in stores or on the go. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Make a breakthrough! This is the Morning Rush.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
I'm ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
Road Chevrolet and the Van Buren Boys and Girls Club are teaming up to make this Saturday a date to remember. Starting at 10, be there for cornhole games. You can shoot hoops. Plus, come by and see former Van Buren and Razorback standout Matt Jones. Be there as Road Chevrolet launches sales tax paid on select 2024 and 25 models, plus a chance to win $500 off any vehicle purchased. With every vehicle sold, Rhodes is donating a portion of the proceeds to the Van Buren Boys and Girls Club. Road Chevrolet this Saturday, 10 a.m. for fun, games, hot dogs, and big savings. 2800 on the highway, Van Buren. Road Chevrolet. See dealer for details.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Todd Richardson here at First Financial Mortgage. My mortgage lender, Ethan Adamson. Ethan, congratulations. Over 300 five-star reviews.
Yeah, Todd, we pride ourselves on delivering a 5-star service during the entire mortgage process.
What sets you apart from everyone else?
I think communication, how quickly we work, we get you closed on time or early. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren. It's Todd Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. What all y'all service here at Jazzco?
We do food trucks, cars. We do custom banners, signs for big and small businesses. We do logos, stickers, you name it, we just about do it all right here at Jazzco. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Every Wednesday night, take the kids to Joe's Grill and Cantina. They will get a delicious meal for $5. And Joe's is bringing out the crayons for a coloring contest where the kids can win cool prizes. And the fun is just starting. It's Kids Karaoke Night. Let that star shine. Join Joe's every Wednesday for Kids Night with the fun atmosphere of Joe's. Come for the food, stay for the fun. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about the tough there is.
Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally it's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
All right, so we'll jump back into the Google versus Microsoft debate in just a sec because we have gotten some text here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Baseball games this weekend. Arkansas is alone with Texas at the top of the SEC leaderboard right now. Because of the overall record, they're number one. Both teams are 11-1 in conference. Missouri takes on Florida this weekend. Florida's dreadful. South Carolina against A&M. Arkansas travels to Athens. Texas at Kentucky. Mississippi State at Alabama. LSU at Auburn. And Tennessee at Ole Miss are your games this weekend in the Southeastern Conference, Tommy.
It's going to be a fun weekend. I think this Georgia-Arkansas series will be one that sets a tone for the rest of the way for Georgia if they don't win it. It's really more critical for Georgia to win 2 out of 3 this weekend. Number 2, Texas, like you said, taking on Kentucky. The other big one, Tennessee at Ole Miss, as you mentioned, that's 5 versus 6 in the polls. You know, we mentioned Arkansas's record now at 31-3. Number 3, LSU. You know what their record is? 31-3. So they're right there with Arkansas. That's going to be. Aren't you going down to the LSU series?
I will be. I was actually texting my 2 Baton Rouge buddies. One's an Arkansas kid, one's an LSU guy, and there's actually a cheap breeze flight from XNA to New Orleans. And my buddy was like, "Yeah, I'll pick you up in MSY or whatever."
What are the dates on that? I'm sure you know. I don't have the
it's
schedule
the second weekend, Tommy. It's the of May, so it's the 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Mother's Day. Mother's Day. We can't go. So that's LSU and Auburn this weekend is huge. So I mean, some big weekend series: Tennessee and Ole Miss, and of course Arkansas, Georgia. Biggest amongst them.
Tom, I'm glad you're up, and I think you'll get some. I think you'll get some different text on this between Texas, LSU, and Tennessee. Who do you want to beat the most? That closes out your season. Think about that. Texas and Fayetteville, maybe number 2 versus number 1, depending on how things shake out the next few weeks. LSU's been your baseball rival. At one point, from like 2012 to 2020 or whatever it was, you couldn't beat those guys. You finally got over the hump. Or Tennessee, who's like the new kid on the block. Tony Vitello wins the national championship. You hate his guts. Like, which of the 3 do you want to beat? I know you say all 3, but of the 3, top of your head, who are you going with? Those 3 teams.
I want to win the home series for the home fans. So I'll take the home series on that.
Well, just one. Pick one. Between Texas, LSU, and Tennessee, you got to pick one.
Texas.
Okay.
Texas. I mean, I hate LSU the worst, but Texas is at home Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Tennessee is as well. LSU's on the road. So I'd rather go win the games in front of the fans that are paying a lot of money to see them.
Colton, what do you think?
I'm going to choose Tennessee because of what you mentioned, Ty. It's that newfound hatred. I know that LSU is probably the team that you historically, said that you probably couldn't get over the hump with, but I'm choosing Tennessee. I can't stand the way that they play. It's very Ole Miss-like, the look at me and all this, and Tony Vitello, not a big fan, so I would love to stick it to them at home to end the season off on a good note.
Tommy, where you're coming from, like the we'll call them patrons since it's Masters Week that attend Baum Walker Stadium games and the amount of money that they pay and the tailgate and everything. You do want to win those games, but man, there's something about winning on the road, like the team that did in Vanderbilt, in Nashville. And selfishly, because I'll be there, I'm going to say the LSU series. So, but I think you'll find that that's kind of split. Like I think you've got the old guard that will always say Texas, and I get that. LSU again has become the more recent rival, Colton, that you just addressed. But Tennessee has it struck a nerve. Like you're just like none of you cared about Tennessee baseball prior to 3 or 4 years ago, and all of a sudden you got this. I mean, you got this guy that was here that you probably liked when he was here, and now you hate him with the fire of 1,000 suns. So I think it's an interesting dynamic to close out the final 3 weeks of your season. All right, that is your SEC update here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday this morning, Tommy.
And it is brought to you by our friends at Wheels RV. They got a big weekend coming up. The Wheels and Moix RV have teamed together for the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party. It's going to be in Rogers on Pauline Whitaker Parkway, right behind Nukes. All their biggest brands are there, financing on site. This is a show you don't want to miss for the best deals for all your camping this year. The Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina vibe all there this weekend. So don't miss it, the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party. Why is it an outdoor party? Got bounce houses for the kids, food truck vendors, and a lot more to make sure you're entertained as well. It's the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party brought to you by Wheels RV this weekend on West Pauline Whitaker Parkway behind Nukes and Rogers.
All right, back to the Microsoft and Google debate. read the now. You can't read all of it, but read the text you received on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline during the break because we both laughed out loud at it.
Well, I mean, let me pull it back up. But it basically said, "You are a dumb butt." Hey, that dude is a dumb bleep. Excel is bad to the bone. Period. So
we got now.
Anyone in business knows. I mean, if you're doing, I got a gazillion spreadsheets I have to work through every week. You're not doing it on Google Docs. I mean, that's no
Google Sheets,
Google Docs,
Google Sheets.
No, none of that. That's no.
I would like to read this this text from Spiro, Oklahoma, from my friend Devin, who is older than you. He should ask, but he says I am with Team Ty on Google Sheets, and I'm older than you, Tommy. So he's an older guy, and he likes it. And I'm going to guess that Devin.
That's fine.
Devin is also.
You have the right to be wrong. So
I'm always. I guess it's what you're used to. Yes. You kind of get you get synced up with it and everything else. We have our things that we do each and every day, and we get used to it. And we don't like when things get out of the mold. I've used that Google since I was in like middle school or high school. I'm so used to Gmail and everything else and the Drive and everything that comes with it. But that's why I like it. But there will be people on both sides.
Because you've never used Excel.
No, I have. It's just I don't.
No, but using it one day, one time doesn't count. You got to. So you don't know anything about it's the deal. Just like I don't know much about Google Sheets, and I'm not interested in learning because I know Excel.
They're the exact
I don't know it
same
inside and out. No, they're not. There are more features.
It's like yelling.
We're not going to argue about this. This is stupid.
You're the Lyft guy, and I'm the Uber guy, and we're yelling at each other because we have different things.
They both do the same thing. For basic stuff, they will work, but at the advanced level, I'm using it at Ty. I need a more robust spreadsheet engine. So
yeah, I have.
Does that sound good?
That's the best way to put it.
All right.
If you haven't seen Thero's going to the NBA.
Away left side, Jefferson flashing for a steal. Thero to the other end with a left hand. How about that? A Thero throws it down. It's 49-31.
I think about his career and kind of the arch and what's happened. I mean, he starts at Kentucky, doesn't play a lot, then gets a little better last season, and then really just took a massive jump this year. I hope an NBA team takes a flyer on him. Wish him nothing but the best, and I can't wait to see Kentucky fans when he's wearing something Arkansas related after not wearing Kentucky stuff, because that's just watching Kentucky fans squirm and get mad is one of my new favorite things in life based on what's occurred in the last year or so.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's not a flyer. I hope he's got good information that tells him he's better than just someone taking a flyer on him because, with that knee and everything, I think, it's going to be hard for Arkansas, but they will. And I got full, in Cal we trust, I got full faith they can replace the best two scorers they've had on the team, statistically at least, with Boogie and Thiero, because that's what you've lost at this point.
Yeah, 30-year roster's gone. Big Z's going to Illinois. Boogie's going to the NBA. Thero's going to the NBA. You mentioned the top two scorers. Best player, I would say, is Thiero for the majority of the season. So Cal's got to reload. You heard Richard.
Do you need a spreadsheet for that? Do you need a spreadsheet to come up with that?
I need my Google Sheets. And we're still getting it's wild. We've got all these. We've got. The thing about the Morning Rush is we've got listeners of all sorts of walks of life. You've got obviously me, who's probably the dumbest listener / talker when it comes to any of our audience whatsoever. So you got the bottom of the totem pole,
self-awareness,
which is me, and then you've got the intelligent people who there's a lot of them, and pretty much everyone above me that are back and forth on this. So we might have to jump back into it later on and really get into, do you prefer Microsoft or
let's talk pivot tables. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's talk pivot tables. That will enthrall the audience.
You are in Vegas. You are at an RIB show. So I mean, maybe this is one of the small groups that you guys had, the debate back and forth.
Well, I did. There is a session I sat through, Google Docs and Suites and how it will run your business. I did sit through that. Why to never use Google Sheets. It will run your radio station. Hey, if you're craving something sweet and delicious, head on over to Andy's Frozen Custards on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. They've got locations in Conway, also on JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. And if you stop in at any of those places, they'll get you hooked up with something great and something sweet and something to cool you off. Do the Pick 6 where you can mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors for the perfect game time treat. You can also get the Andy's app in the Apple App Store and download that now to get your order on the way as well. It's Andy's Frozen Custards, Fort Smith, 2 in Conway, 1 in North Little Rock. And again, the Andy's app, walk up or drive through. They're always ready to serve you at Andy's Frozen Custards. You're too young to remember when there was Beta and VHS. You may be too young to remember VHS tapes.
I know
when
VHS.
you had a VCR.
Yeah, come on.
Early
how young
on
do
in
you
the
think
80s.
I am?
Well, you're 30, but I'm always amazed at the things you don't know. It's not, you never amaze me at the things you know. It's the things you don't know that amaze me, like Huey Lewis in the news yesterday. But there was a time where there was Beta and VHS, and I remember as a kid there was always the argument which was better, Beta or VHS. Obviously, they both ended up losing out, but there was another one of those stupid arguments you would have along the way. They both did the same thing. Beta never caught on, but there was 2 kinds of VCR videotapes you'd watch in your house, and it's kind of like Coke or Pepsi. There's always going to be an alternate. Which one's better? So
Pepsi, right? Want to hear you. Go ahead.
You're fired. You're over 2 today, man. Google Sheets and Pepsi.
Wow.
At least you didn't say Diet Pepsi. No wonder.
I was
going to
say Pepsi Max. That's what I was going to say. I don't mind. I don't really mind Pepsi.
Pepsi Clear.
People just like it's. I feel bad. Like people sometimes just
Diet
like
Pepsi's like, ooh.
You just rag on brands. Like I have no. I'm pretty easygoing when it comes to food and drink and whatever. Like whenever a bartender asks, it's like, hey, what kind of vodka, what kind of whiskey, whatever. I always tell them it's like the worst one you have, and that always gets a laugh out of them. It really. I mean, again, I'm an easygoing guy. And it just doesn't. I don't have this like hierarchy that I feel like I have to be served food or drink. But evidently, Pepsi, if it was served to you were not a fan of that. So now I know.
No.
Getting you
Top
Pepsi,
shelf only for me,
Pepsi
baby.
for birthday.
Top shelf only. Hey, top shelf is what you'll get at Gaston's. I mean, that is the top shelf place to be on the White River. Great cabins, and they've got one whether you just need one for a cabin, a private cabin for 2, or hey, we're having the family reunion or a big guys group going. They've got one that'll sleep 22. And they've got room for everyone. So whether you need 2 bedrooms, whether you need just a single-room cabin, most come with a fireplace. Most come with a full kitchen or some form of a kitchen. And then they got the restaurant that can do all the cooking as well. So let them design the perfect trip for your situation. That's one of the reasons they like to talk to everybody. It's not just a reserve online deal because they want to make sure all their options are on the table for you and understand what you're trying to achieve, whether it's a business getaway, a family getaway, or a romantic anniversary weekend or birthday weekend. They can make all of that happen. And all of their accommodations are private. It's not a hotel. There's not going to be someone in the room next door banging on the wall or playing music too loud or any of that because they got private cabins and lodges for you to enjoy. 870-431-5202 is their number. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by 2 of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert spinnerbait, here for one thing.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
It's time for the Rath Rod Replacement Sale at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, bring in your old car and get $3,750 above appraised market value for your trade. Take advantage of over $20,000 in recent price reductions on our road-ready certified pre-owned inventory, inspected and reconditioned in our on-site Meineke Car Care Center and backed by a comprehensive warranty. It's the Rath Rod Replacement Sale all this month at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
1-1 pitch. Down the line, a swing and a fly ball hit deep towards the left field corner. It may have the distance. Davalon's giving them the lead with a 3-run homer.
Charles Davalon to beef with baseballs right now. Whenever he sees them, he hits them out. Doesn't matter if it's Baum-Walker Stadium. Doesn't matter if it's an away ballpark in the Southeastern Conference. He's got a beef with them baseballs right now.
What's Your Beef Wednesday today? Brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Everything you need for getting that beef on the grill, or chicken, or pork, or some of their great seafood. Get your shrimp and everything you need. Potatoes, corn, sausages for your spring shrimp boils as well. Richard's Country Meat Market, 3042 North Market Avenue in Fayetteville.
All right, so as we close out today's show, you heard a highlight from yesterday's 7-3 win. Arkansas will travel to Athens this weekend. Tommy, I know this is the series you've been looking forward to. You get to play a chance to see Wes Johnson and Dave Van Horn go at one another, and it's another marquee series for the Razorbacks to take on another Southeastern Conference foe.
It is a big-time measuring stick, and I think it's going to be one that really proves kind of where you're at. It's a huge series. I think it's bigger for Georgia than it is Arkansas after what happened last weekend. Hey, the Booyah Bait Company, it's all made in Arkansas. It's the hottest swimming jig on the Arkansas River right now. And, even after all the rain, it's designed by the Muddy Water Mob in Arkansas and Oklahoma. It's been winning tournaments on Lake Dardanelle and Kerr Lake like clockwork. So if you're fishing submerged or matted grass, you need the Booyah Mobster to reel them in. It's available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma. Look for it by name, the Booyah Mobster.
All right, that's going to do it for today's What's Your Beef Wednesday. Always appreciate Richard's Country Meat Market being a part of our Wednesday morning rush coverage. Tommy's on his way to Phoenix. We're back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Coming up halftime, Phil Elson, Matt Jones as they get ready for the Georgia games this weekend.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th.